Hey folks, David Stewart here. Fix it with pills. This is a scientism approach to medicine where I have a problem. Doc, write me a prescription. Give me some pills to fix my problem. Now, I mentioned scientism. This is not scientific. It is scientism. Scientism is a religious relationship to science and sciencey things where what science produces is good, and then you view science as a good force which produces good things. So you'd be like, well, this thing that science made is good because it's sciencey and science made it. We'll put fluoride in the water because science said to put fluoride in the water. Relationship with medicine is basically, there's a medical solution. There's a pill I can take that will fix it. Obviously, that's a good thing, without really stopping to think about what that means in a deeper level. Now, I mentioned that the baby boomers this attitude is very prevalent in the baby boomers, and you can kind of see this with their relationship towards medicine and all the prescription drugs that a lot of them are taking as they are in their older age now. But it by no means started with them, and it by no means has ended with them. We certainly have the younger generations that are posting what kind of psychiatric medications they are taking on their Twitter profile. And you have this thing, take your damn pills, being said all of the time, and no one stops and says, why should I have to take my damn pills? Is there something else that you can do to fix the things? And so I'll just use methamphetamine as an example. Let's start with methamphetamine. Why not methamphetamine? Meth. Well, meth has been prescribed for a variety of conditions for about 60, 70, 80 years, a long, long time. Amphetamines have been prescribed. The parents of the baby boomers, they come in, Doc, I need to lose some weight. Can you give me something to help me lose weight and maybe have more energy? This was actually a scene, I think, in Leonardo DiCaprio's J. Edgar Hoover movie where he was playing J. Edgar Hoover. Yeah, they give you a prescription for methamphetamine. Here you go. Take this drug, you'll lose weight and have more energy. Swell. And methamphetamine was really common. I had one of my friends of my dad was a Vietnam vet, and doctor over there would just keep a big bottle of methamphetamine around in case somebody needed to stay up all night and watch. You're tired, you need to stay up all night, take a couple of these, you'll be good to go. Taking meth, right? And of course, the parents of the baby boomers had a scientism belief in doctors. Back in the 50s, they were giving their kids formula instead of breastfeeding because breastfeeding was like icky from your body kind of thing. And science had made this wonderful formula that's better than breast milk because science made it. That's a scientism kind of view. And so they were giving their kids corn syrup solids and sodium caseinate in a little shaker can to feed their kids, or they feed them condensed milk and things like that instead of breast milk because this was better. Science had figured out it was better. Now, by science, what it actually was companies like Nestle wanting women to buy their product rather than have free breast milk given to their kids. We don't need to go too deep into this, but there's all kinds of deep rabbit holes you can go into with the formula industry. But it's just an example. People trusted their doctors. Their doctors told them to do something. They did it back in the 50s. Oh, science said that this is better, so therefore it's better, without any kind of critical thinking on a deeper level than that. But methamphetamine, the parents of the baby boomers took methamphetamine. Baby boomers also use methamphetamine, maybe not for themselves, but they gave it to their kids. Brand name was called Disoxin. It's still around, and it's still prescribed very commonly for children with ADHD. In fact, if you had ADD and you ever had to take Disoxin, you were taking literal methamphetamine to increase your task focus. Well, he's not focused in class. Let's write him a pill that will just give him some task focus. Oh, take your medicine. Your medicine. It's meth. It's literally meth that kids were taking. My friends were taking meth. My friends were all on meth in school. Why? Because they didn't pay attention in class, because they were drawing pictures instead of doing their 20 worksheets a day, because they were talking instead of listening to the teacher. They had all these behavior problems. So the pipeline was, your kid's a behavior problem. Maybe he has ADD. Take him to the doctor. Doctor says, sounds like he has ADD. Here's a prescription for methamphetamine. Woo! Or it could be something else that's like Ritalin or, Adderall. These are very powerful stimulants that are really just as powerful as methamphetamine or cocaine. In fact, as we grew up and became young adults, when I was in college, people would try to buy their prescription Ritalin off of other people, and they would chop it up and snort it like cocaine to get high. because it worked just like meth. If you snort meth, if you snort Adderall, it's very similar effect. These are very strong stimulants, and you can take them in a variety of ways besides just taking a pill to increase the kid's task focus. So anyway, you have this pipeline. Rather than looking at maybe the classroom environment doesn't suit Johnny. Maybe there's some other things that we can reinforce with Johnny to help him with his task focus. Maybe we have to stop and remind him to keep working on the worksheet every once in a while. Well, no, what we need to do is give him medicine to fix his problem. That attitude kind of put on those younger generations. Now I think it's more psychotropic medication. Jenny is sad. Let's get her on antidepressants, right? Jenny has acne. Let's put her on birth control. All of these things are pills to try to fix problems that may have arisen from something else. And I'll give you, I guess, just an easy example besides methamphetamine. You do painkillers and things like that. Doc, my back has been killing me. My back hurts. Doc says, here's some muscle relaxers. Take those. Good to go. You take some painkillers, and if your back is really killing you, you could take some Vicodin or take some, I don't know, whatever painkillers that you want to take here. Here you go. Boom. And you can take those, and it's like what the doctor should have said is, well, you're 100 pounds overweight, so that you're going to have joint pain. Your back's going to hurt from trying to work when you're 100 pounds overweight. So why don't we figure out a diet? Maybe you could see a dietitian, and you can come up with a diet that'll work for you to help you lose those 100 pounds over the next year. And then after we've done that, we'll see how the back pain is persisting. And in the meantime, take some Advil if you're feeling particularly in pain or something like that. So that would be the self-healing approach. Oh, well, what's causing your back pain? Well, it could be that you're 100 pounds overweight. And of course, obesity is a big problem here in America, and it causes lots of other medical issues. You got to get your knees replaced. Why are your knees out? Well, you were 100 pounds overweight for 40 years and your knees went out. So now you have to go to a surgical solution to try to solve that. Could have solved it by having a lot of healthier living. And you have kind of this spiral of medication where you end up with a huge pile of pills that you have to take every day. And I see this with some baby boomers and a lot of geriatric doctors that I've seen now. One of the things they do is start pulling patients off of all these different medications because they're having so many different interactions and so many different effects on the body. Taking like handfuls of pills like several times a day in order to maintain your emotional stability, maintain your stay awake, to keep your heart doing whatever it's doing, regulate your blood sugar because you have type 2 diabetes or something, and you have all of these medications that are piled on. So it's like, Doc, I feel sad, take this antidepressant. Doc, I can't sleep, take Ambien. You'll take Ambien. Doc, I'm like hallucinating. Well, we need a wake-up pill for you too, so we'll give you some Desoxyn, off-label Desoxyn. Doc, I have all of this things going on. I took the painkillers and now I can't wake up. Well, let's give you a stimulant to wake you up. You get all of these things that create this giant drug cocktail because you're trying to fix something with pills that maybe if you'd solve the underlying problem, it wouldn't be such a big deal. Now, this is not to say that you should never try to solve medical issues with pills. It's really that the attitude that's been developed, and this is very profitable for pharmaceutical companies, is I have a problem, I go to the doctor writes me a prescription, it gets fixed. It's a very efficient model, and the truth is pills actually do fix some things. Antibiotics, go in, you have an ear infection, doctor gives you antibiotics. The ear infection goes away. It kills off the bacteria and allows your body to function normally again. Maybe you have type 1 diabetes. Obviously, you're going to need insulin, right? And it's very good that those things exist. So there's lots of medical interventions for actual problems. And I don't want to say that there's no, just avoid pills. But the attitude of I have a problem and therefore I'll go to the doc and he'll fix it with a pill is one that's very prevalent, and it can be dangerous, I think, and can lead to just a lot of unnecessary amount of things going into your body. And in fact, I think if you were to look at an example like Michael Jackson, too much unfettered access to medicine can actually kill you. He had a private doctor that would just write him whatever prescriptions, and then he ended up dying from them. Or his nose, right? He could just get plastic surgery whenever he wanted. In fact, he said for one of them that he got plastic surgery so that he could continue singing high notes, rather than going, well, I'm getting older, my voice is aging, I can't sing those high C's maybe anymore, I should think about what I'm doing. It's like, how can I fix this? How can I fix this problem that I lost some range on my upper end? Which it happens, my voice, I can't sing as high as I used to when I was young. That just happens. Your vocal cords get thicker as you age, things like that. So Michael Jackson probably suffering normal aging, and assuming he was truthful about wanting to get surgery to fix his nose so he could sing higher notes. But having that unfettered access, what was the consequence? Like, his nose was like completely collapsed and gross, and he looked bizarre by the time he was done with all of the plastic surgery. He had gone from a black man into, like, what was the joke? Black man into a white woman or something like that. He had this pale white skin. Maybe he had something done with his chin. His nose was collapsed from the rhinoplasty and the consequences of rhinoplasty. A poorer person, if Michael Jackson had been poorer, he'd have lived longer because he wouldn't have had such unfettered access to medicine, and with that attitude of like, how can the doctor fix it? It would have been overall better for him. So thanks so much, guys, for listening to this little rant. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great one. Leave me your thoughts down below about the fix it with pills attitude that seems to be so prevalent in our society. I think I saw something like 25% of women over 40, like 40-year-old women, are on antidepressants. And so if that doesn't give you pause to think like maybe there's something where either our society is profoundly broken and making everybody depressed, or there's some other relationship with the psychiatric medical establishment that's creating this thing of a bunch of women taking antidepressants. If that doesn't give you pause to stop and consider our relationship to the fix it with pills scientism approach, I don't know what would. So thanks so much, guys, and I will see you all next time. Have a great day.